I mean, auto attack Valla has kind of been a meme forever, right? It's like Valla's an auto attacker, but really is just like a multi-shot or a Q champion, so basically like a mage. And it's great to see like the auto attack actually coming into fruition and being a powerful play, because I feel like there's a lot of mechanical prowess around that, right? Like, where is your positioning to maximize the number of autos you can get without dying? So, I mean, I love seeing like more skill-intensive builds come to, you know, the top of the priority.
And then you see some of the players that are trying to pull it off without the double support, so all of a sudden they can't go that ham, or they have to like see, hey, am I going to die or not? But yeah, so that's definitely something to look forward to. And we're actually in the draft already, and globals, we talked about them a second ago, have been started to address right away. The first ban instantly false stat.
They said, no thanks, we don't need that false stat up in here. And Stukov going to be the counter ban in return. So, I mean, very much a priority hero here. Rhaegar, I would say, used to take that ban slot. Got, you know, nerfed in the most recent patch, so I'd expect to see maybe a Johanna coming out for them as a second ban, but we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, Rhaegar and Stukov are like the two, Stukov in particular, with the variant combo, just trying to go for the one-shot material, having a Nubarak, for example, in that position is always going to help as well. And yeah. And apparently the reason why we're restarting the draft is because one of the teams doesn't have all the heroes.
Ah, which is weird, because I think at the LAN Cafe they're supposed to have all of them unlocked, so maybe it's something with that restart that happened, maybe...
Yeah, we had like something where someone had to log in earlier, so yeah, we'll be back in a second. But coming back to the point, Alterac Globals.
Yes.
With false set already banned, you've been highlighting a potential Vikings pick. I don't see it. At the same time, I would love it. Yeah. And you're way more in the NA scene than me here, so if you say that June is going to bust out the Vikings, I'm going to trust you.
I mean, I don't... So here's the thing. Nintori is known to be a support player. Caesar Salad also used to be a support player. So it's like, if June does pick up Vikings, normally a Nintori has the ability to flex into support, which is a pretty cool thing from like a roster standpoint. I think it's a decent map for it. I don't know if they'll 100% pull it out. I just know it's something where a lot of teams do like banning the Vikings against Diamond Hands. Just because, you know, when you're playing against that type of composition from like a pro perspective, you know, they have so many games practicing with the Vikings, right? And you like have maybe a handful, 5 to 10 games practicing against Vikings. So it's kind of like you're going into their sandbox and just taking it away, even if it's maybe not the most ideal, a lot of times can be kind of nice.
It's kind of funny that you explain it this way, because this is exactly what happened during HGC times with Hazo Ops. They were the ones that were known for the Viking plays, and then everybody was so afraid of it that everybody consistently at offline events banned it against them. Even at the time when Hazo hadn't played it for months. Like, we don't even practice with this shit anymore. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, Vikings. I'm not playing Vikings any longer. But they wasted bans on that. So it's like, as you said, one of those heroes that can be so annoying when you play against it. So yeah. But talking about heroes they could pick, Sylvanas on the map is definitely something that you can run and where you can do tons of them, and not only with the boss, but also if you're getting just the camp in the mid lane, can do some solid work with that, so have some mobility too. But yeah.
I feel like Sylvanas has drastically risen in priority, like over the last couple of months. Like, I feel like pretty much every time in like the first 5 picks, we'll see Sylvanas picked up, you know, for one of the teams. And that's something where, especially on this map, like you mentioned, with that camp going down the mid lane, is just so powerful, being able to disable it, get it buffed up. Do you feel like Sylvanas is kind of S tier right now? Like, do you feel like there's some other assassins that are on her level, or do you feel like she's just like all around, pretty much in every situation, a good option?
I feel she's always solid, but you have then Genji coming back now for, well, coming back is maybe the wrong way to phrase it, but like
slightly buffed.
HGC was the time when you had not a single game where he was not either banned or picked immediately. And then afterwards, I think for a year or two, he fell off a bit and wasn't played as much anymore. But then over the last couple of months, he's definitely seen tons and tons of plays again. The Anduin Genji combo, for example, with the light bomb doing a whole lot. Sylvanas is popping up everywhere. You can macro with her. You can also go into the team fights, drop that wailing arrow. I know that for a long time we had really huge priority on mind control, so you can play with that. That's still an option. So you have a lot of utility that you can add there too. If you don't going for the silence, you can just follow up on any stun with a good mind control, isolate a target, and take the 5v4 after that.
Yeah, or even like you can use that mind control for picks type thing, right? Where you're just like waiting in bushes, and it's like another form of engage. That's in something where I don't know. I love when Blizzard is able to balance it in a way where both ultimates really are impactful and are really good. And I feel like Sylvanas is kind of a prime example of that right now, where it's like, okay, you want the AoE silence, wailing arrow. You want the burst pick potential and the level 20 massive power spike, mind control.
The one thing that I really like that we have seen over the last few months is the JoJo early pick, and then swapping her into the off lane.
Yeah.
I really, really love that. That was something that I would have already loved to see at the days of HGC, and since then obviously with a lot of changes to the game itself, and what was removed is like the rotation speed and the experience globes and things like that. But it reminds me a lot of what ATC was like in the HGC days. You picked him early, and then depending on how the draft swapped out, you went into stage dive ETC off lane, or you went into main tank with Mosh Pit. And Jojo fills a very similar role right now, where you can swap her into the off lane, and then, yes, she might struggle in the 1v1 a bit, but she's not necessarily going to lose the fort there. And once it goes into the team fights, you all of a sudden have 2 main tanks against you, and you're just like, hello?
2 beef lords, right? And it's like, I mean, Johanna loses the matchup, but like clears the wave. So it's like, it loses the matchup, is like, it doesn't necessarily trade better, but it looks like we are going to be getting back into the game. I would expect to see same bans here, the Falstad, Stukov, and then the Lucio, so we're still going to be waiting for 1 ban. And I'll be curious to see what it is. I mean, 2 supports have been banned out here potentially. I think it's going to be that Johanna. It's just like such a strong hero here. But if they don't ban the Johanna, I'd expect that to be first pick by Damn Hands. And
with Lucio being banned, he just allows for those quick rotations. And we talked a bit about the orbals and can throw onto the map. But obviously, when you have Lucio, it's a similar way of accomplishing that goal. They're just moving faster across the map and making it just like crossing the distance a lot faster and going for that. I mean, normally in Ultralisk we'll see the objective attack real late, so you don't go for the prison the first one at least, not right away. But it's all about the level 7 talents here, and you get a Blaze as a first pick. So no Dehaka here, but still insanely powerful offlane now, of course. Yeah, really good save as well with that bunker. So potentially if they do go for some sort of burst one-shot comp, able to have that first save from the Blaze, just a really strong offlaner. I'll be curious to see, okay, so they just go straight up with the Ana Malthael. I mean, Nano Boost plus Tormented Souls is kind of what this screams to me. Falstad's already been banned out, which is one of the main counters, that Gust. But yeah, I feel like kind of early to show this, maybe something they could have held for the 3-4, but I mean, kind of showing a bit of their hand here of what they're going to be looking for. I mean, the only thing that I ask myself immediately when I see that is, are they going to go all in on it and dropping in Uther as a main tank too, so that they have the Divine Shield and out of boost? This is mostly something that you see, I would say, on Infernal Shrines, when it's literally all centered around this one location, and then Malthael needs to go ham in that spot and needs to rip them apart. But the engage that we now have with the Nubarak diving in, you have Blaze, Nubarak gives you also that split push potential there, and Lunara. That's a pretty solid damage combo already. Yeah, and it's, I feel like the cocoon for the potential nano boosted Malthael is a big one as well, right? Like nano boosted Malthael, if they do go for that, I like it.
Just what you said, they said no thanks, we don't want that Uther, no double support up in here. So, I mean, I like the Nubarak pick 100% from Caesar Salad. Being able to potentially cocoon that Malthael is really strong. So I'll be curious to see here if we see Bird Dogs actually swap their comp plan a little bit. Yeah, but the thing is also, Uther would have saved the nano boost for you. So now the cocoon is going to be the battle between the ults at the end of the day. Yeah. They drop in Jaina, so you have the nano boost available on 2, so that helps you a little bit. But once the Tormented Souls gets dropped, if they decide to go down that path, then you have the cocoon ready. I like, on the other hand, Stitch is a little bit more play lately, but now if you get a good hook off, you have the burst from Jaina, so that really helps here. Anduin obviously can help a lot if he gets a pull. Yeah, I like the Anduin in response to the Stitches. I mean, I feel like, I mean, it makes sense, right? They get pulled in, you pull them out. The wait is over. And the Cassia is going to be rounding out the composition. So definitely for the side of Bird Dogs, I feel like maybe a bit squishy, right? Malthael going to be someone that needs a lot of heals in that front line, whereas Jaina and Cassia as well, if they get gone on. You know, looking at these initially, I feel like I'm favoring Diamond Hand's composition. I feel like it's just going to be easier to execute. And I don't know. I feel like either team could win it, but right now I'm really liking their composition. Yeah, I would say so as well. And I'm curious what Stitches can do now with Anduin in there. If Cassia goes Valkyrie, for example, once the Anduin hits the 16, you have so much tools that you can ruin a play. So that would definitely help them. Yeah, I think the Anduin pick is going to be really good. And we have June, you know, an HGC mainstay, a Tempo Storm, like has played on these LAN, on these world stages. I mean, on these, you know, LAN stages before, so we won't see nerves coming into play for him. But yeah, we're going to be getting into it, guys. Game number 1 between Bird Dogs and Diamond Hands. And here on the left, we've got in the blue, Got Filth playing that Phoenix. Yeah, I never even knew that the guy was there, that orc. To the day, there's like so many of these small Easter eggs on the maps that I have no clue about because we're usually not really focusing on any of them. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how they're going to start into the early game here. I mean, oftentimes we have the 5 versus 5 battle in the middle, and so far it seems that both of the teams are absolutely willing to go into that brawl. And then when I say Blaze starts to split off towards the top. Yeah, as it looks like Bird Dogs is going to be rotating in here. Looks like, okay, they're actually going towards the bot side for Diamond Hands. Going to be looking to cheese this wall here.
You got a Nubarak, so you definitely can come in, solve a couple of these tower shots, and then do solid work. And they're late on the rotation. Yeah, they're losing the entire tower, and probably more of this continues. The only one that's here so far is Ana, and that's just not going to be enough for the deterrent.
Man, and I would have kind of liked to see them just maybe leave Jaina to blizzard that mid wave, right? Like actually force him to rotate quickly up to there. Because since they rotate all 4 down now, I mean, they're going to do the same thing in the mid lane, I believe, as a Nubarak and the Lunara are just going to be hitting down and getting this other tower to about half HP. So far, really good rotates coming out from the side of Diamond Hands.
That's a whole lot of structural damage already, and we're not even a minute into the game. And they're making the immediate move over towards the camp, so I like that. Yeah, we're going to see Jaina split off now together with Ana to try and make the same thing. I mean, on this map, it's one of the most important things that every single time that it comes off cooldown, you're immediately taking the camp and get the push in the mid lane going. Yeah. So whichever team is more diligent in that regard normally takes a bit of a lead there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that literally is, in a lot of ways, the objective of this map, is like how, quickly can you take out this siege camp and just being really punctual, being there on time when it's actually going to be dropping, because it puts down so much pressure.
Also, we have interesting choices here. For Stitches, for example, we have in this case him going for the stacks on his first level there. So that's something that we don't see all that often either.
The Savor the Flavor. Yeah, which is going to basically give him some extra regen here. But I mean, it looks like in the mid side here, some decent pressure coming down for the side of Diamond Hands, as they are going to be looking to finish up that tower that they got to about half here. Anna going to get rooted. I mean, they can't really hit the follow-up, but the Jaina just now going to actually be rotating in, and that's going to be another tower going the way of Diamond Hands, really just establishing dominance in this early game, getting so much push down, and that's going to be the full wall going the side of Diamond Hands, 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, so right now, level 4 talents are already in. They got the entire wall, they get the experience for that too. Blaze still sitting down at the bottom of the map, getting even more value.
Yeah, and they do a 5-person rotate here, so now Malthea is going to be going top. So mid wall and bot wall going the way. Oh, actually, Sir Watson #2 is going to get taken out by Gotfilth here. A really good read on the rotation. Does it look like Bone Wizard on the Stitches is going to be the next person in their sights? Don't have any more CC. Actually, I spoke too soon. The root does come out here, but they're not going to be able to finish him off.
Yeah, down to the bottom of the map, Blaze in the meantime got tons and tons of value, and the defense is finally there in the form of Cassia, but you just look at the minimap and you see quickly that top side is now under pressure since Phoenix is there. The split on all 3 lanes is really good for Diamond Hands, and you can tell that the red team is really struggling to meet that. And of course now we have the camp back up just as the objective comes in, and they're already knocking at level 7 talents. So yeah, they're going to be in a big advantageous position for the first objective.
Yeah, as it looks like Caesar Salad here is going to be rotating in onto the Stitches, just doing a little bit of damage. But I mean, the siege camp has been taken out first here for the side of Diamond Hands. They'll be having that extra pressure and that level 7. Let's see if they try to go for the objective here, or if they actually look to pressure this mid 4, as Malthea is just going to be finishing up the siege camp for the red team here. But yeah, it looks like they're just going to opt to really just hit this fort, do a lot of damage, and this is a lot of fort damage coming down.
It's really a problem for the red team currently to just not only stop that, but also get some pressure going themselves, and they're falling farther and farther behind in experience. They just really struggle to meet all these lane pushes with an adequate force. And at this point, at least, we have the objective also now starting to pop up, so they are currently getting absolutely murdered on every single aspect of the game. Ford in the mid lane, low at the bot lane, already taking damage. The objective is coming in. Ooh. And it's really tricky, and here comes the play from Phoenix, trying to lock Jaina down and gets the solo kill.
Beautiful from Gotfilth, just waiting in the wings, waiting to teleport over. And I think this is, I mean, I know this is going to be objective going over for Diamond Hands, but I think this is going to be all 3 forts going their way. I mean, this mid fort is basically dead, this bot fort is basically dead. And I'd like to see a rotate from Diamond Hands of going maybe mid to top, or maybe even just letting Phoenix solo up there and trying to get some of these keep walls, as, it's going to be a 2-level lead at this point in the game for Diamond Hands.
And normally, again, like Citra's going a completely different way from what we're normally seeing here. Patchwork Creation is the standard level 1 talent, but we're now having a Savor the Flavor, and he's following that up with the level 7 synergy. There's the kill on Malthael, and finally a kill against the blue team. So mission 1 accomplished.
Yeah, and Tori, running it down, giving him a kill, as they do, but I mean, they still might be able to hit level 10 here and maybe pressure this top keep wall at the very least as they're about halfway. Oh, Gotfilth going in here, aggressive 2v1, doesn't care, and he's able to take out the Jaina instantly. Another teleport as Rhino Girl is the next person in his sights, but he's just going to back off after that blind comes out. Oh, Caesar Salad with the double stun.
Yeah, and level 10 is nearly there. That kill helped them a lot with the experience, so now they can continue pushing with heroic abilities, and there's a huge problem. It's a 2-level gap that we already have at the 5-minute mark. So they're going through that mid lane, opening that up, but we still have a push going on top side through the objective. Yeah,
it's still super healthy too, still half HP. You would expect to see Diamond Hands look to get more value here, get at least the keep wall.
Nice hook attempt by Stitches, but unfortunately that didn't quite go through there.
Yeah, and looking at the ultimates, it is going to be Thornwood Vines on the Lunara, as it looks like they got a lot of damage here onto the top and middle keep. 11-8, so still no ultimates achieved for the red team. But yeah, I mean, this just looks like all Diamond Hands.
Also, Anduin going for the bubble. He has all the words. The best words, everybody says so. Amazing ult, love that one.
Yeah, no, I actually think it's pretty good. I wonder why. Okay, so I think that's their counter or another counter to the nano boosted Malthael, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, it has to be. And normally, honestly, I don't see it. Like, I don't get to make that joke all that often anymore. Normally, it's always just him going with a Genji combo or something. But in this case, we actually got the bubble here. So yeah, I love it. But as you said, once that level 10 abilities come in, that can be a problem. So him being able to just save the team there is going to be great. And in this case, we get last rights. So there's no nano boosted Tormented Souls. We get the last rights instead. And on top of that, also the Ring of Frost now.
Anna in a bit of a scary position here is going to get taken down. The question is, what else is Diamond Hands going to be looking for?
Yeah, frontline Ana is always a little bit dicey.
You hate to see it. They do have the boss going in the top side here, so could see Diamond Hands go to finish off this keep. 7 minutes into the game, if they are able to secure it, would be pretty big. But it looks like they are, you know, they don't have that level 13, taking the more passive play and just going for the bot boss.
They're doing a fantastic job here. I mean, they control the entire game here. They control the macro. Early on, they were able to split on the lanes and do tons of damage. They took the objective without, honestly, without the red team even making a play for it. And now they just go from boss to boss. They keep them on their toes. They keep them locked into their base, get the experience lead, extend it even, and soon lock in level 13.
Yeah, and they're going to get their siege camp. They're going to get this objective, and that's going to be really where they make a play for, you know, at least 2 or 3 keeps. If they get a couple kills, potentially could end off the game. But for the red team, I mean, one thing to note, Jaina did end up going for Ring of Frost. They also have the Gorge, so they have a couple of tools that they could potentially bring themselves into the game, but definitely looking like a dire situation. I feel like it's kind of ride or die on Bone Wizard playing the Stitches, needs to hit a couple of clutch hooks and set up a Gorge to get his team into a good position.
It's one of the problems with Stitches. If you don't land the hooks, then talking about landing it. In comes Phoenix together with Lunara, and they just obliterate Jaina. She melts away. And now at the bot lane, a huge tool that normally is used to stop this push is just gone. If they get another kill here and can take the damage out, then this could be lights out for the red team. Bubble is out. Anna is also gone. That's a 5 versus 3 as they are pushing for it. Cocoon is out too. Got Filth. A little bit low, but gets out as well. And now Nintori is joining the fun. That keep is definitely going to be destroyed now. And there's a push going on in the mid lane and the top lane still.
Yeah, good double stun in. Tori starting it up. Caesar Salad with the follow-up. Kelsier as well, leaving striking in. The ring is going to connect onto the Anubrak, but not going to translate to any kills as Gotfilth is going to go a bit more aggressive here, teleporting in, deciding, nah, I don't want that. I don't want a spinning Drekthar on top of me, and they're going to be able to get mid keep and bot keep, and are they going to go for top keep as well? They said, we don't want 2, we want 3.
And of course at that point, I mean, 9 minutes in, no armor shield on the core anymore, so you know that's already bad news, and that's a 4-level gap that we're talking about. They're going to soon run a double talent advantage over the opponent's team.
Sheesh. So the question is, do they just try and end here, or do they actually back up and get the objective? It looks like they want to end the game now. Gotfilth, the nano boost coming out to Sir Watson on that Malthael. Is it going to be enough, though?
Yeah, immediately the damage against Maltha. They're trying to force him back, but Filth gets out. At least for now, Nintori might be in trouble here, and that could be the kill. Anduin trying to prevent it. Last rights, and Bambi is out.
Farewell, Kelsier, you brave soldier, as Bone Wizard is going to be able to connect a hook here, and actually a Gorge as well onto the Phoenix. So this should be a second kill going the way of the red team here, actually. Looks like Gotfilth is going to fall. June potentially going to be the next person in their side. Caesar Salad getting a stun, throwing out the Cocoon. Going to be able to back up here, but still, level 16 is going to be achieved for the side of Diamond Hands. And I mean, 40 seconds to get the objective. I don't think they're going to be able to do it before Diamond Hands is able to bring it back in for a 5v5.
Yeah, and of course, Kure is regenerating, but at this point, you're just looking at... I mean, look at the minimap. Not even a single fort has been destroyed. The Kure is literally the last thing that's standing here. We have a 3-level advantage. You're trying to go for the objective now. You need some map control, but we have only 9 seconds until Phoenix is back on the map, and we're talking about another 5v5 with a level 16 advantage and a 3-level lead for the blue team. Diamond Hands, the stats advantage alone that they're running right now is just gigantic.
I feel like this is do or die, though, for the red team. They have to take this fight. The Ring of Frost comes out, is not going to be able to connect. Bone Wizard doing a decent amount of damage here. Torment, or I mean, Nano Boost going out onto the Malthael. The hook not able to connect, as it looks like the red team is just going to back up as Diamond Hands re-engages.
And that is a big salvo. Insta double kill, and here's the triple as Stitches goes down too. Jet Propulsion connects, and we have Malthael taken down. That leaves only Cassia. She's already retreating through the top lane, but the blue team is making the play for game. Diamond Hands are about to lock in the W here on Alterac Pass, the first map of the series. Fantastic play by them. 13 kills, 2-3. Dominant from the beginning. Good rotations, good macro, solid team fights as well. And they just didn't leave them a chance. Not a prayer. Well done and really, really a solid performance for the blue team.
Yeah, just their early game rotations, it felt like the red team was just not able to bring it back from that. You saw Phoenix in the top lane, Blaze in the bot lane, you know, and it all started out with just that level 1 taking the tower on bottom, and they weren't able to properly rotate. Like I said, I feel like Jaina should have stayed mid, you know, Blizzard the mid wave, force some pressure into the other team, you know, force them to kind of respond to you. But just, yeah, really, really good rotations for the side of Diamond Hands. But also, I really like their composition. I feel like they just had a lot of tools to, you know, get picks, to disengage, re-engage. Just felt like it was all around very powerful.
And they just attacked on every single lane and aspect. They split off. When they saw a team fight opportunity, they took it, and the rotations were just crisp. As you said, they struggled from the beginning to just stop the push in the mid lane, then you lose some of the structures at the bottom. In the meantime, top lane is pushing too. And it was just a consistent lead in experience that just snowballed so hard. And when you had the push coming with the objective, plus level 10, losing on the first objective, every single fort, and then also the wall at the keep itself, not a good sign.
Yeah, it's a really hard spot. And one player I just want to, you know, give a special shout out to, Gotfilth on that Phoenix. You know, we saw a couple solo kills from him, just like instantly blinking in onto the Jaina, recognizing, hey, I can win this 1v1, and also just being in proper position to allow himself to do it. Has 8 kills at the end of that game. There are 13 kills for his team, and he had 8 of them getting the final blow. So really well played on that Phoenix.
And you can also tell that he exploited the fact a bit that Jaina was panicking in some of the situations, just going straight up for the body block, and you could tell Jaina was just trying to get away. The only thing on the mind going, get away from here, never really fighting, and maybe set up the counter kill for the second hero that was there. But yeah, he exploited that beautifully. After the first kill that he got, he immediately said like, okay, I can do that again.
I'm in your head.
Exactly. Body blocking, getting the shots in, and then once again out.
Yeah, I mean, we even see it. They didn't end there, but like at the end of the game, he like blinked in super aggressive, like 15-11 after they just got a couple keeps, like into Drekthar, literally getting spun on, like trying to 1v1 the Jaina. I mean, he made it out alive, so like he knows his limits, but you know, that's something where I'll be curious to see, maybe does that roll over into the second game, which we do know the map is going to be on Battlefield of Eternity. Is Gotfilth able to keep up that dominance? You know, is he in their head? Are they going to ban out that Phoenix? You know, what is going to be the plan for the red team? You know, what do you swap up?
Yeah, also what kind of draft are they going to use here? Is it just to focus on the Immortal? Are they instead going for the team fight, trying to wipe them before they go on the objective? If you make such, I mean, how long was this game? 11 minutes? 10 minutes, 11, so along those lines?
Pretty fast on Alterac Valley. That's a very,
that's crazy. Now you're going onto Battlefield, where we've seen some serious speedruns from
like 6 minutes.
MVP Black and other teams. So this could be brutal. I'm curious what they're going to go for here. And also, of course, what they are facing off against. Because, as you said, competition was a little bit too squishy.
Yeah, and they really need race on this one as well. You know, like this is something where they're going to need Grainer, or Grainer. I meant to say Greymane and then Rainer. I just combined them. But Grainer, you guys get it. You know, you need some sort of heroes that can actually race down the Immortal. And, you know, we saw Jaina, we saw Malthael. You know, maybe those are comfort picks. Maybe that's something where like, okay, we're playing against a CCL team. We're playing against these Grandmaster players. Like, let's just stick to comfort. Those heroes aren't very good on this map. And, I mean, that last map, it didn't work out very well either. So would really like to see them prioritizing something like a Hanzo, like a Greymane, like a Rainer, really getting themselves some of those race tools. Because even then, if you lose the fight, you're able to, you know, not lose the Immortal as much.
Arovala could also be coming through here. We could see that. But yeah, Hanzo would, of course, also be super neat if they had him here. But again, draft starting up, so we're going to jump in and have a look of what exactly is going on here. with the bans, I guess we're going to target supports again. Stukov is going to be the same game. If he's not banned, then we're going to see a sniper composition for sure.
Yeah.
But another thing that I could see here is also if they want to try and play with Genji, Anduin, and really just going for the fights here. So that's something that Diamond Hands could definitely do after what they showcased on the last map. If they want to keep up the aggression and not just completely tunnel in on the mortal damage, that would also be something that they could definitely try and pull off here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I feel like Diamond Hands, more than any other team, and Gottfilth in particular, I feel like he plays so much Phoenix. Like, compared to other players, I feel like they don't pick out that hero as much. So I'll be curious to see if that's another hero we see pulled out on this map. But personally, I mean, ever since you mentioned Genji, Anduin, I like want to see some Light Bomb, D-Blade combo engages. Like, I don't know, I just like it's so beautiful.
I've seen so many of them lately in some of the XCOM qualifiers that we had, where so many teams were just like moving in and just going for that. Especially some of the Russian teams on this map, hyper aggressive with that style. And obviously it can fail miserably. But if you have a good Genji engage and Anduin, they just time it perfectly, get those stuns against 3 heroes and just clean house. It's just amazing. So in this case, we got the Malthael banned, we got Jojo banned out too. So far, none of the supports have been touched. I would still expect that at least Sukov is going to get the treatment here.
Yeah, I'd expect Diamond Hands to not ban it though, right? Since they do have that first pick, have the option to pick up the priority on the Stukov. They do take away the Malthael, so it seems like the Malthael is maybe a little bit of respect there, recognizing that, you know, maybe that is a priority hero for Sir Watson, and just don't want to really deal with the potential of like the nano boosted Tormented Souls or just Malthael in general.
Clearly a Chillrogg draft.
True, actually, they took away Cocoon too. It does kind of look like a Chillrogg draft. I mean, is this a good map for Chillrogg? Like, its race is decent.
Okay. I gotta say, we're in an A, so I'm not gonna comment on that. You guys had a Chillrogg meta literally for how long? Like 2-3 months?
Not long enough, as Baja would say, you know.
It was a long time. It was way too long. I disagree on that one. So yeah, when I see something like that in North America, I'm just like,
They do get the Falstad too, which potentially could be a global, right? Gives the Gust to maybe save if they do go for him.
Yeah, you can exactly when they go for Cho'Gall, you can Gust them away.
Well, I think the global potential is even bigger, right? Like the fact that he can play side lanes and Cho'Gall is able to, you know, just be postured in the front. And the Vala is going to be the response. I mean, very powerful on this map with that double Q, allowing you to burst down the Immortal, as well as the Anduin, which is, you know, good save. And you're right, the Cho'Gall instant pick. Khaldor with the 5-head, he knew it was coming. He read NA like a book.
Okay. All right, so we're actually getting Cho'Gall. Leo ban? Tychus ban? What do you ban here on the third?
I think maybe Leo. I mean, they have the Vala. They could go Tychus too.
I mean, when I saw the Nubarak, I was like, this smells like North America. But at the same time, I didn't really believe it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I thought it was a meme, but like here we are.
I thought they were maybe trying to bait a ban, you know, so that you try just like suggest like, hello guys, we might pick him.
I mean, they also had a very dominant Game 1 performance, you know, like that's something that comes into play for the players. You know, it's like, okay, we had a very dominant performance on Game 1. Let's play some Cho'Gall. Like, it probably is something they are relatively good at, and it's like, you know, maybe other teams watch this performance, they win in 6 minutes, and, you know, when they play Simplicity in the next round, they're like, okay, I don't actually want to play against their Cho'Gall, or at least it's something in the back of their head.
Yeah, and you don't show anything that you are probably prepared against other teams. True. I mean, that's literally the discussion that a lot of the teams had yesterday, where they said, okay, if we're going up against a team that we really dominated map number 1, map 2, we can throw something out that we are not really considering picking against the top team, but then they don't know what exactly we want to play, and maybe they are thrown off also a little bit at least. Here comes Leo. They didn't go for... I mean, they have Vala here already. If you're going to go... This is always the danger. If you're in a situation, just start dropping Tychus, for example, then you're really just going, okay, everything is trying to counter Cho'Gall, and you're starting to forget a little bit about the map itself.
Yes, that's true. I mean, luckily they picked up the Vala in the 1-2. Okay, so they do have the Vala in the Tychus. So they have a lot of actually percent damage here for the red team. I mean, the Leoric as well. I'm curious to see how this one plays out, because I feel like they have a decent composition actually into the Cho'Gall, but I don't know. I feel like Diamond Hands are the better players, and I feel like they're really going to be able to take it away. And I like the Imperius as well. Like the fact that Imperius will be able to set up the CC for the Cho'Gall. They have the Anna Sleep as well. And Falstad is really going to be that side laner. Falstad's just going to be playing the side lanes, looking to fly in, looking to get maximum soak.
Yeah, and at the beginning of Imperius in that spot, and he also does a huge amount of damage.
Yes.
If you are really going ham with the boy, like he is murdering. So he can, as you said, provide the CC, get the damage out there, and really help them in those battles. So considering how dominant they were on the first map, they still are definitely the ones in the lead here. But yeah, that's definitely It's an interesting one. I would not mind seeing some more fun picks throughout the entire tournament here. If we at some point get the fish in and we get a little bit of murky action going, I wouldn't complain either. But now we actually get a Cho'Gall. We get an arrow build for Vala, by the way. I guess... I mean, we've seen all kinds of builds for Vala, honestly, on Battlefield of Eternity. Lately, it has moved back to the arrow build, but when we had the double support being so dominant with her, the auto attacks were also quite popular here. So he could have, I guess, made an argument for trying to play some auto attack styles that Manticore in 16 is doing even more work on Cho'Gall. But then at the same time, you're really just going to go too much tunnel vision there.
Yeah. It's like you have the Tychus, you have the Leo. I feel like you need that race.
You need something against the Immortal, for sure. So arrow is definitely the better choice here.
Yeah, but I mean... I don't know. I love auto attack Vala, but yeah, I just feel like for this map, I feel like they need that Q build. Otherwise, they're going to be lacking the race. Because I think Cho'Gall really does like these long, drawn-out fights where they're able to, you know, like we're seeing here, just chunk them out, throw out a lot of spells. As it looks like, you know, it is just going to be both teams posturing up here. That is going to be minigun used by the Tychus, not actually going to be able to connect onto the Cho'Gall. And I like what they're doing here. They're just, you know, having the Cho'Gall play from the bottom here, not really in a position where they're able to get gone on and just throwing damage again at the start onto these towers.
Yeah, and up at the top lane, that one-on-one is also going to be quite impactful. And the beauty is obviously that if you have Falstad and the Global, you can always try to just fly topside and maybe catch him off guard here. If you have a battle at the bottom of the map for the first camp and then Falstad just splits off, you have a good shot of getting both of the camps. Yeah,
speaking of khaldor, again being prophetic, right as the spear lands, actually, Caesar Salad is going to land as well. And that's going to be Leo falling down to about half HP as Falstad does fly to the top side, looking to pressure out the Leo, and they're going to actually start up the top camp. So would expect to see this top camp going the way of Diamond Hands as Leo can't solo defend it. And then I would expect the bottom camp to go the way of the red team as, you know, it is number advantage for them.
Yeah, they're going for the split down here. Meantime, June is also moving top side. Leo obviously has to be a little bit careful that he doesn't get caught off guard here. And this could be the first kill. Yeah, he is going to get absolutely crushed here. Now, obviously, the beauty of Leo in the early game is that the death timers are low and he's going to spawn on site, so they're not going to lose too much experience here, but it's definitely a bit of a setback.
Yeah, he's back, baby. I mean, that's the power of Leo. 10 deaths. You know, the meme doesn't matter how many times you die because you just come back. Good damage coming out there from the Tychus, just looking to chunk out onto the Cho'Gall. As it looks like both teams are just going to be pressuring on the side, but Cho'Gall really is great in these kinds of situations where they're trying to push into you, has so much basically poke damage from afar where you can take down those sieges. As we actually, it looks like the Cho'Gall going in here onto the Anduin. This is a 3v4. Are they going to be able to get the kill? No, they're not. But that Anduin, Rhino Girl falling very, very low is going to be forced to tap.
Yeah, the thing that's going to be a little bit crazy later on is also that once we're having Ana and Hernano boost, you're going to see some serious Cho'Gall action as the game continues for sure. So yeah, once again, down at the bottom of the map, we still have our 1v2, so to say. But the camps are now being taken as the Immortal is about to spawn in 20 seconds. So first objective up, but already a slight lead in the experience that could potentially even matter for the objective. If they are able to draw it out for a long time, then level 7 could definitely kick in during the first battle.
Definitely, and I mean, I think they have a pretty good composition for that, right? Like you have the Imperious, you have the Ana, kind of just waiting in the wings, waiting between the two Immortal phases, looking for a sleep dart. And then you just have Cho'Gall throwing damage at them, right? They can't really walk into your bodies, and Falstad's just split soaking the whole time. So I actually think this could be a good situation for the side of Diamond Hands to split up and just look to actually stall it out. As it looks like they're just going to opt to push bottom here, letting Falstad clear out top, and I like this. They're getting a lot of fort damage, and Tori doing a good job anchoring, just scouting out the rotation.
Yeah, and they might even be able to now get a kill here. Nintori is still totally fine, and they are chasing with Cho'Gall hard, but he might be a little bit too deep here. So now that we have Vala coming in too, this is going to be a problem. But he's still able to make it out. And they haven't lost a single hero yet, but they're making the play for Pilsner here, and Vala is down. One beer too many.
Caesar Salad coming in with the fly and just bursting that Vala up. As Tychus is going to be the next one to fall on Anduin, Rhino Girl is going to be the last.
There's the CC you talked about earlier. Imperious comes in again, they get the kill, Anduin is down, they go for the triple, and they have the fort at the bot lane, and now obviously also an open shot at the Immortal.
Yep, level 7 about to be achieved also, as it looks like June. And, you know, this Cho'Gall is just going to be zoning them out on the spot side, and that's going to be level 7. I mean, they don't, I would say the one drawback for the side of Diamond Hands, they don't have the best Immortal race. As you see the Falstad just hitting onto it, it is going to take them a little while to actually finish that objective up.
Yeah, seriously. Falstad just sitting there like, I swear to God, boys,
give me my 100th auto.
Give me 10 minutes and I'm going to be there.
Maybe one day. But yeah, I mean, Cho'Gall doesn't even care about the Immortal. Just saying, you know what? the reason we get Immortals is to push, but like, what if I just push without it? But Nintori here on the Imperius, a bit far up, going to be falling very low. June doing a very good job healing him up. They are going to be able to get the slow, but are they going to be able to finish the Imperius off? I don't think so.
Yeah, the Janitor's moving in, trying to take out the trash, but that didn't work. So now we're on the way back, but Choker is still pushing, and that wall is gone.
Yeah, he said, this keep is mine, I guess. Still, level 7 has not been achieved, and Leo actually just backed here. Potentially could see a 4v4 situation as Imperius is also in the base. Tychus going to be able to activate that minigun, and Chillrogg going to be falling pretty low. I believe that is bigger they are, so I don't think they'll be able to take him down as the percent damage will stop, but allows them to burst the Chillrogg down to about, 30% HP.
Yeah, also a little bit of a wild adaptation from Vala here with her level 4. That is throwing me a little bit off. If you go for an arrow build, that's not the way that you want to go.
Yeah, that
defeats its purpose.
I think that level 4 arrow is very important.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's one of the reasons why you can stack your level 1 pretty quickly and how you get the burst out later on in the game. So that has to be a misclick. That can't be intentional.
Yeah, since they went arrow for 7 as well, I feel like that is a misclick. I mean, maybe there was a fight that was breaking out, as it looks like Diablo has Caesar Salad the whole time, just hitting the Immortal like, team, I got it. Been hitting it for so long.
Oh. Oh, that was a great connect here. Nintori with the play and the double stun. Diablo goes down, and now they're making the play for Vala. The Pilsner is once again on the retreat, and the only one that made it out is Tychus.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, I thought he was going to do it. I was so ready. I was about to lose it.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
But level 10,
6 kills to 0, yeah.
Sheesh. I mean, 6 minutes in, this could potentially be a GG situation, right? Like, I don't know if it will be, right? I think a lot needs to go right for Diamond Hands, but they do have level 10 to level 7, and that ultimate advantage is big, not to be underestimated.
I don't think they can end here. I mean, keep maybe, but Polstad, look at him. He's already down in the bot lane again. I love these splits that they've been doing. They've been doing it to a lesser extent on the first map, but already there was pretty clear that they are paying attention to the macro, and now they're getting mad value out of the top lane push, and at the same time they got the bird at the bottom with the catapult, and they are losing so much right now. And the reaction, moving 2 in now to defend him, he should easily be able to get out of that situation, even if he has to use his ult. And that's 2 heroes now that are dealing with him, which leaves the top lane completely exposed. Only 3 defenders, and the Immortal is just barely defeated. But the keep wall is gone. They're getting so much value out of every single push here.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to stay with that level 10 advantage, which I like. I mean, they did use Nano Boost. They are down Gus, so they don't have 2 ultimates. But still, I mean, Cho'Gall ult is a passive. They have that Twisting Nether on the Gall, which is very big. Oh, Nintori actually going to get his ult stopped here. Really good job coming out from Bone Wizard on the Diablo, and that's going to be Imperius following.
And that was the first kill for them. So already first step here. Once again, it's Leo at the front. They were trying to move in. That's one of those situations, if you have Entomb here, you can maybe start to clean up a little bit and get something out of it, but obviously they don't have heroics yet. They're still 2 levels behind, and with full knowledge of that, the blue team is simply moving in for the next camp.
Yeah, I was really worried, though, for the red team that they may lose a keep in that push, whether it be the top one or the bottom one. So the fact that they were able to save themselves from losing a keep is pretty big, but we see Cho'Gall here coming in for the flank onto Bone Wizard. I don't know if Tychus wants to actually take this fight. Is going to get slept as they still don't have the level 10.
Yeah, they get Leo in, but they should really not engage into this one. It's rule number 1 in Heroes of the Storm. And Tychus learns it the hard way. First kill. Vala is also down. Both of the damage dealers are now gone. And Bone Wizard is completely isolated as Cho'Gall just runs and went down. That's 3 kills, 4 kills in a fully exposed keep. Leo's the only survivor. And he was trying to go for Cho'Gall there and get another connect, but that didn't work, so that keep is definitely gone, and then he can either go for core or at least take the second keep at the bot lane.
Yeah, I spoke way too soon. I said they didn't lose a keep. They were happy about that, but they did end up losing the keep, and I feel like they just were getting maybe a bit too desperate there. You know, you're down 1 game. These 2 games have both been pretty decisive, but you need level 10. It's rule number 1 in Heroes of the Storm. You can't fight without it.
It's one of those things, you need to have the patience there, and you feel the entire time you need to make a play. You need to make a play. But oftentimes, the smartest play that you can make is just to sit back, wait, and then once you are on even levels with your opponent, or at least on even talents, then you can go and make a move. But yeah, they got too impatient there, and they paid the price and fell farther behind. Now they're 3 levels behind. The level 13 talent is in. They finally have heroic abilities. At the end of the day, they're going to have to take a bad fight now, where they're talent behind, and they have to somehow make those heroics work for them and win the team fight. They're trying. but it's not really working out. There's the nano-boosted Cho'Gall, and they that quick double kill.
Dang, Nintori with a massive two-person Imperious onto the Vala and the Anduin, 2 high-priority targets. And that's going to be 4 heroes falling for the red team. Cho'Gall actually taking so much damage here, forced to use that Molten block down to about 500 HP. I think they're getting a bit ambitious, thinking they could end, but they're just going to opt to get the keep and actually back off here. But I mean, the red team still may be able to get one more fight in, and I think you just have to run with the Immortal. Like, this keeps dead. If you give them the Immortal, you're going to lose the game. You can't let them finish up this halftime. Even though you're down 4 levels, you have to take this fight.
Yeah, for now, Forza is going to move down to the bot lane again. They're going to create another opportunity there while the team is going for the Immortal itself. And yes, things are pretty grim right now. So they have to somehow try and make a play here. But how can you? Because now you have 100% shield against you. You got to wipe, and I just don't think they have it here. Oh, but maybe now. Cho'Gall, and he gets out again.
Dang, dude. They entombed the Ana, and then Bone Wizard looked for the Q follow-up, and it actually pushed the Ana out of... Oh, as it looks like the fight's going to continue here. Bone Wizard going to fall on the Diablo. Nintori with a good ultimate there, and it looks like Cho'Gall nano boosted, just going in, dominating, doing so much damage here. As that's 4. Are they going to be able to get the 5th? Caesar Salad wants him as a new Barack Obama is trying to get out and is not going to be able to do it. And that's going to be game number 2, going the way of Diamond Hands, a very decisive series for them.
Yeah, they're going to take the 2-0 and going to move on, and that was an insanely clean game that they played here. An insanely clean match. Map number 1 was obviously absolutely stellar as well. 19 kills to 1 and a 4-level lead at this point in time. So yeah, incredibly well played. Definitely a bit of a statement here too, even with Cho'Gall.
Yeah. I will say the craziest part of this series is how khaldor called Cho'Gall after a false stat or a Malthael Anub'arak ban. He's like, I know NA so well. I got this. I don't know. But yeah, very well played by Diamond Hands. Feel like really showing up and letting people know, like, we're here to play. And they've got a big team in the next series for them. They're going to be playing against Simplicity, so I'd expect that to be potentially a map that goes the distance to go all 3 maps.
Yeah, probably the highlight in the winner bracket for now in the next round for sure. But yeah, they did a great job there, and a 2-0 uncontested more.